Hi guys, it is me, the Birmingham Train Spotter here, and as some of you may know, I do model railways. It's one of my passions and one of my hobbies I do in my spare time. So we're going to be going over my collection. Now my collection has grown quite a bit. And the first thing I ever got for model railways, like most people, was a small tank engine. Now, this tank engine came in this train set right here, the Great Western Hauler train set, which was my first ever one, and it's a good train set. It's a GWR variant 10107. Now, unfortunately, mine has a bit of damage. The front cup bottom area here, I'm not sure what you would call that, is snapped, and I'm sure that can be fixed. Now, this locomotive is almost about 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, and it's the oldest locomotive I've got in my collection of collection time. It's the first one I ever got. Now, it's a very good runner, and I need to do some bits and bobs on it. It has taken up a lot of dust and hairs due to me not using it as much, but I need to make sure this one gets cleaned. The second locomotive I ever got my hands on was an old Triang locomotive. This one here. This one is a British Railway Class 31. It is a Triang locomotive, and it's quite a great Triang one, actually. I mean, like, I know there's the rare blue variant of the Triang Class 31 that everyone wants, but I got this one from the Tyseley Open Day of 2019 for £12.50, and it runs really well. There's a bit of damage here, chipping, and a green, some weird green that needs to be repainted, but I can always repaint that if I needed to, or give it some weathering. Now, this locomotive is actually, I'm not sure how old it is because it doesn't say when it was built, but I have to say it's around 60 or 70 years old, making it the oldest locomotive I have. So it's one of my favourites as well, being my third favourite. The next one I got my hands on was another steam locomotive. This one was given to me as a trade because I got my hands on an LMS Ginty, a British Rail Ginty. And I'm sure my Class 37 review, when I first got it, I had the Ginty in box and I showed it. Well, the Ginty failed horribly. It broke. We couldn't get it to run. So instead, I actually, at the Birmingham Model Railway Club, I traded it to my friend Callum, and he gave me a V12. So I'm going to take the tender off. Here it is. This is a British Railways, I believe it's a Hornby one. Yeah, it's a Hornby Railway, so this one's an old one. I need to clean this one up as well for the dust reasons, but this one is very fast. At the time, this one was one of the fastest I have, and it is a great locomotive. I mean, it's lovely. The tender is here, L&ER, and I'd say, I'm not 100% sure when this was made, I'd say around 1960. I mean, this is quite an old locomotive, but it does have a good amount of detail, for example, inside the cab. It's got some good speeds as well to it. That one was a trade. Now, the next one was another diesel locomotive. I think it was June or July of 2019. I went to I think it was a model railway exhibition with the Birmingham Model Railway Club, and I managed to pick this beauty up. This one is a British Railway Class 25. Now, this one, it's really troublesome. I mean, I got it for like £20, but there's a problem. I'm not sure. Can anyone please tell me how you fix this? But it constantly will not fit down on standard. If I get a rolling stock piece right now, you see, look, it isn't in line when you buffer it up. When I buffer it up, hold it here. See, look, it just isn't in line properly with the actual wagon. And I believe it's because this one is so low to the ground, and I would like to know if anyone in the comment section can tell me how to fix this problem. So I'll probably make a separate video about this and the problems that it has, but please tell me if you know how to fix this, because it's really annoying that it's a good runner, but it'll constantly come uncoupled, and it's got these, I think it's an American Bachmann coupling, but this is a Hornby locomotive. It's got one, I think it's a decoupling, I'm not sure. Let's put that to one side now. The next model train I got was, I consider this the flagship of my model trains. For £20, I managed to pick up a Vitrains Class 37 with lights. Now, this one is very famous because it's actually a custom one, I believe. If I take it out of the box. This one might be a custom one because everywhere I've looked for pictures of this locomotive, it always appeared to be a bit different. That there was always sort of a different sort of livery. That there was always a nameplate or something, but on this one there wasn't a nameplate, and the design was different at the front. I believe this is a mix, I believe, from looking at it, because it looks like it had some stuff done to it, but it's a great locomotive. It's got sprung buffers, a guy in the cab, which is a great one. I got this for £20 as well as the Ginty. My parents picked this up at a charity shop, and it runs really well. The lights in it are amazing. I mean, Bachmann Class 37s go for a lot these days compared to the cheaper Hornby versions, but this one is one of the best ones I have, and I'd say it's one of my favourites. It's my second favourite. Now, we roll on to Christmas time. A time of the, well, actually my birthday before Christmas, 23rd, and I managed to pick up this for my birthday. A Bachmann Class 43 warship. Now, this thing is amazing. Lights, head code lights. It's not DCC sound, but it is great. It's fast. It's my, let's say, second favourite, third favourite. I'm not sure what I've said about the favourites, but it is amazing. I love this locomotive. I mean, it's got speeds on it. Its speeds are ridiculously fast. It is, I mean, we had a race at the Birmingham Model Railway Club, and this thing just won. But I don't think it's good for the motor if I run these at extremely high speeds. So take it out of the packaging. It comes in this classical Bachmann packaging, which is always good for securing your model trains in, because they make sure they don't get damaged. Now, I haven't run this one for a while, which is always my fault because I haven't had the time, as well as the Birmingham Model Railway Club being shut due to COVID regulations. I can't go there. Now, if I just move the Class 37 out of the way, I seem to be wanting more spotlight. Here it is. So this one is Roebuck, the Class 43 warship. Now, I got this from Baz's Model Shop. This one came from Baz's Model Shop, and another one you're going to see will come from Baz's Model Shop. Now, this one doesn't have sprung buffers, unfortunately, which I think would have made this such a better locomotive, but it looks really nice. The speeds, as I've said, is a remarkable speeds. It's got, I'm not sure if you can see that properly, but a lot of cab detail, and it's got the, you know, the British Railway and Roebuck written on it, which means it's a good locomotive. I love it. I always had this love for the warships from watching Thomas the Tank Engine Magic Railroad to actually seeing one at the Severn Valley Railway and knowing that these things are massive, based off I think it's the German V200, and they were scaled down to, these are pretty big. Can you imagine the size of a German V200? Meaning that the German V200 would be a lot more bigger than the warship. Now we're going on to another steam engine, and the box is just behind this baseboard that I got the set from. But it's a Hornby locomotive. Now, the Hornby, I got this from Argos for Christmas, actually. This was a Christmas set. Now, the set, it's really good. It's Mr. Peppercorn himself, Tornado, which is a very famous locomotive. I mean, I believe it's one of the fastest ones. I mean, like, it was made in 2006 as a rebuilt Peppercorn class, and it's beautiful. I think it's an A. I'm not sure. I can't remember A1, A2. I'm not sure, but it's a beautiful locomotive. I mean, I do have some problems with this. Mainly, the coupling is complete and utter uselessness when trying to put the tender on. But it's nice. I mean, you got cab details as well. You know, you got the running the smoke deflectors have Tornado on it. The number 6163. It's a great locomotive, and I love the green. I do love the green. I mean, although it's got a sort of a lighter green variant, I do like this one more. Now, when I was at the club, one of my mates, I'm not sure, I can't remember her name because I'm rubbish with names, but he had a TTS Sound Tornado, and it was beautiful. He actually ran it, and turns out you can't run other locomotives because I tried to put my warship on the second line, and it cut out. So the last locomotive of my collection, and it will not be the last one, but it's the one I got recently. This one is a Hornby Class 66. Now, you cannot be a model train enthusiast without owning a Class 66. I mean, Hornby and that have made so many. You got the GBRF, EWS Freightliner, the Orange Freightliner, which I believe is the Irish one, the pink one as well. This one, the GBRF. They have so many. I mean, originally I was going to get the pink one, but the guy from Baz's Model Shop, Baz recommended this one to my parents, so we're going to take it out the packaging. This one is 66727 Andrew Scott CBE, or if you know it now as Maritime, in the Maritime livery, because they changed it. But it is a great locomotive. It came with a great packaging as well, which I do like, because Baz makes sure everything's secured as well as Hornby, and here it is. Now this one is I'd consider this one the main flagship of any model, sort of like, if you know, my model railway that I'm planning. If you want to get into model railways and you've got the money, go for a 66. You will be impressed by the amount of detail these things hold. I mean, I love the livery as well. I'm not sure what livery this is. I think it looks like Great First Western, but it isn't. I'm not sure. But no sprung buffers, which is okay. It's a Hornby model, and it's really lovely. I've tested this out before, and it's got quite a good speed to it, and it stops. It stops compared to this one, the Class 37, who decides to speed along when you stop it, and it continues going for a couple of seconds. But it's a great locomotive, and I mean, I'd recommend any 66. Hattons, Bachmann. I almost got a Bachmann Class 66 back in 2019. But the detail on this is remarkable. So, my top three favourites are the 66, the Class 37, and the Class 42 warship. But the 101 has a place in my heart for being my first ever locomotive. So, thank you for watching. Hope you guys are having a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe for more train spotting videos, because I'm going to be continuing that now after a break, and as well as more model trains, because I might redo Mike's Model Railway Reviews, which was a very popular series on my channel. So, I will see you all later. Goodbye.